Hey, hi. So basically, see, in our project, first I'll talk about the emotion detection part. Okay, so what algorithms we have used in dataset. Basically, for emotion detection, there is a dataset available on Kaggle. If you Google it for 2013, okay, this is the one of the biggest dataset which is available on internet for emotion detection. Okay, so we have used this dataset, okay, to train our CNN algorithm. So this is the one of a kind of good data set. Okay, it has this number of emotions are there. Okay, and consists of this number of examples, samples, images. So uh, so you can mention this information in your report. Okay, we have used this set. Okay, so there is also official paper is also available, so you can also refer that. Okay, so we have used this data set. And for machine learning coding part, what you can do, you can go to your project folder. Suppose this is my project folder, so then you have to go to notebook, and in the notebook I have given you trained image based sentiment file. Okay, so this is the training code which we have used to train our machine learning model. So these are the library importing. Okay, and these are the data set which we are using from Kaggle. We are just, like, you can directly run code on Kaggle itself. Like, you can go to here and you can click to new notebook and you can run this code. Okay, so it allows. Kaggle is a online uh, provide online platform to run the code. Okay, so this way we are loading the data set. We are just checking the categories. Okay, and these are the categories, and this is the code to load the data set. Like, one by one we are taking the emotion, and one by one we are taking loading into x and y train. Okay, we are just dividing x, we are just taking x as a images, y as a labels. Okay, labels means the emotion of that particular image. Okay, and this is the function to split the dataset from properly into x10, y10, and just transforming the image into the proper size and getting the labels like that. Okay, so it is also this is all our pre-processing. Okay, you can, from the name itself you can understand, just like get label position. It is basically we have a list of emotions, right? So to get the index or the of that particular position emotion, we are just writing it in this function. Okay, this is the function for resizing image into 64 by 64, right, like that. Okay, and here we are passing calling the actual function to load into x and y label. Okay, and here is the count graph. These are the number of images are there for the particular image emotion. Okay, this is the graph of pie chart. Okay, and then we are dividing into training and testing part, and then this is the training testing part count. Okay, the random samples. And if you go down, this is our CNN architecture which we have created to train our model. Okay, we have used, just Google it, key what is convolution layer, what is max pooling layer, you will get it. Okay, flatter layer, there are multiple bunch of resources are available on internet for this layers information, but this is the architecture which we have used for deep learning. Okay, and here we are just training the model. Okay, and after training we have almost used 100 epochs. We have got around 89%. Okay, and this is the accuracy graph which you can put in your report. This is a loss graph. This is the classification score, key of each and every class. Like, zero means consider happy. So for happy we have got 88% precision. For neutral we got around 92, like that. Okay, and this is the average one. So average is around 90%. So this is the uh, photo of that architecture, and this is the live function where we are just passing the image and it is giving the output. Okay, like that. So this is for backend part. Okay, you can go in notebook and you can check it. Okay, and now let's talk about the implementation part. Okay, so basically for front end we have used normal HTML CSS, right? Normal basic HTML CSS. For backend language we have used Python language, right? Python language is, it is basically responsible for, you know validation, machine learning, database operations, like for such. But right, but for connecting front end is something markup language, HTML says, right? HTML. So for connecting front end and back end, we need some middleware or a root or a framework. Okay, so the framework which we have used Django. Okay, so what is Django? Django is basically a kind of a library which, or a framework, we can consider as a framework which allows to implement our website. Okay, okay, so basically every, whenever you create a Django framework, so it gives you multiple multiple things like manage.py is the main file. From here we can able to run the project. Like, suppose we can run the project like python manage.py, and you have to type run server, means we are just booting up the server. Okay, and it also gives URLs and views. Okay, so if you go student or online exam, these are the multiple routes. Okay, models means machine learning models. Okay, in exam is also same. Okay, so I'll tell you what exactly Django do. Okay, suppose this is our link. Okay, S- suppose if I go to, first I let me log out. Okay, suppose I going to root. Okay, this URL, so you will be able to see a home page, right? Similarly, suppose I'm going to club member. Okay, so you can see it got redirected to me teacher at a teacher click, right? Similarly, if I click to student, so it will got redirect me to student, this is student click, right? So this is called routes. These all routes we have to define in Django. Key, suppose user is coming to this route, then what we have to do? That we have to define in Django. That is a kind of controller thing which basically Django perform. Okay. So if you go to your project folder, so suppose this is the student route, this is a teacher route, this is the exam route, right? So I have shown you, right, कि multiple routes are there. Suppose I'm clicking student to student, it is redirecting me to student, right? Similarly, clicking to teacher, so it is redirecting me to teacher. Similarly, if I click to admin, then it will redirect me to admin, right? So these are the routes we have created. Like we have just made it separate, like student, teacher, exam. So suppose I go to student. Okay, so student is the main route. Okay, see, suppose I'm clicking to student, so student is main route and the sub route is student click, right? So we have defined. So if I go to the student folder, so there are multiple files which come up. The main is student URLs and views. These are the two main files uh, which is compulsory or very important in every function. Okay, so see, in the URLs I have mentioned student click, right? So whenever user will come to student click, it is showing me this function. So if you go to views, so there is a function student click. If you go up, okay, if you go up, so there is a function, see, student click. So whenever user coming to this URL, so this function is getting called. So in this function what we have done, we are just checking key is authenticated or not. If not, it is then after it is showing me student click.html file. Okay, so this file we are displaying whenever user come to this link. Okay, and this HTML files is available in template. If you go to templates, and there is a folders are there based on student. Okay, and there is a student click for HTML file is there. So whenever user coming to that URL, so we are just displaying this HTML content. Okay, similarly, suppose I'm just putting my credential and doing login. Okay, so once you log in, if you see, so this is the student dashboard. Okay, so if I go to these URLs, and if you check student dashboard, so this is the student dashboard. So what we are doing, redirecting, we are redirecting, showing this student dashboard view. Okay, so in this function what we are doing, we are just showing total course and total count from database, and we are displaying this HTML page, right? So like that, Django help to map the routes with the functions. Okay, and for database, see, basically we have used this in Django framework to manage the database thing. Okay, these are the models. Okay, see, we have multiple tables, right? Courses, questions. So what we have to do we don't no need to write SQL queries. Okay, for in the Django is internally handle ORM. ORM means object relation mapping. So relational mapping means based on our classes we internally map the database. Okay, so for database we have used SQLite. Okay, but for defining SQLite or tables we have to mention the classes like that. Okay, so as you can see we have mentioned the classes. So whenever we wanted to save it, so we can directly save, and whenever we wanted to fetch, we can fetch it like that. You can just do some research ki Django ORM tool, you will get it. Okay, so like that we have done. Okay, similarly when user is giving the exam, so what we are doing, see, I just explain the emotion part. Okay, that is important. So you can go to this start exam. Is start exam is a HTML file. Okay, in the template inside the student folder, this is the main. Okay, so in this what we are doing, so this is the HTML code. Okay, so what we are doing, we have first created some div and canvas. Okay, for displaying the images. Okay, and we have created one script. So basically this is the script. Okay, so what exactly this script is doing, it is, if you go down, just skip this part, the handle emotion analysis. Okay, just go down. So here what we are doing, we are just getting all the divs, whatever divs we have created for displaying emotion or a camera output. Okay, so what we have done, we have created an interval. That interval means it will call the backend API in every 400 millisecond. Okay, every 400 millisecond it will call the API. Okay, and what it is doing, it is just taking the frame, capture the selfie or a photo from camera, and just passing into this API. We have created a API. Okay, this is the API, student process image. Okay, so this is the API. If you go to this URL, okay, this is a URL, right? So there is a API, process emotion, right? So every time, every 400 millisecond it is calling this API, and it is the function for API. So it is when it will calling the API, it is passing the frame, whatever frame it is capturing, it is just passing into this frame. Okay, and this frame will taking the frame, this API will taking the frame, and it is making prediction. I have created a class frame emotion detector, identify emotion. If you go to this function, so here we are loading the model, the uh, deep learning model. So here we have created all the architecture. Okay, and this is just making the prediction key based on our algorithm training. It is making prediction key what emission has detected. It is drawing the graph and all, the boxes and all. It is and returning the output key what emission has detected. So let me go back to this. So see, this function will return, it will, we just have to pass image, and it will give key what is the emotion are there in that particular image. Okay, and then based on the predicted image, we are just responding, just replying, or just giving response to API. Okay, and if we go back to this start exam, so as you can see, once the API calling success, then we are just calling this handle emotion analysis function. So we have created a JavaScript function, this one, handle analysis. So in the function what we are doing, we are just taking the emotion and image when we are displaying, and then we are just validating key, is there a sad mode or angry mode. If it is sad mode or angry mode, then we are displaying the alert, otherwise not. Okay, and we are just checking whether the count of alert is more than 3 or not. If it is more than 3, then we are just simply redirecting to home page. That's it. Okay, like that we have done the emotion detection and analysis part. Okay, so yeah, so this way we have done. Do let me know in case any doubt or issue. Okay.
Thank you friends for watching my video. If you are new, then subscribe channel and share with your friend. Thank you.